Hey you guys, what's up? I'm Christian, that's Corey, and this is our review of the One Piece manga chapter. Well, Corey, this was a Tontada tribe-centered chapter.
Yes.
I almost said episode, but it's definitely a chapter. The cover page was interesting before we get too much into it.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed the Jinbei giving the sea god a scolding, you know? He's like, sorry man, you know.
Just the overall imagery is funny and evokes memories of SpongeBob SquarePants.
Yes, because he's crying under the sea, which literally makes no sense at all, but it happens, you know?
Mm-hmm.
We need to start talking more about the cover pages.
Yeah, they're real simple, and a lot of times they have zero dialogue, which frankly I'm okay with because the imagery itself tells a story. And Jinbei himself has been going on a really grand adventure in these cover stories, and I just think that's really awesome. But yeah, we'll make sure to bring those up in some of our future reviews.
Yeah, I think it's important because I like that the author isn't cutting away and then Jinbei's just going to show up later in the arc. You kind of get to see what he's doing throughout, just because... And he also did say he wanted to join the Straw Hats, he just had some stuff to take care of first.
I pray he gets to join the team soon. And you know, I also just like the cover stories because it just expands on the world of One Piece.
Absolutely, it shows you what else is going on. So, the first few pages are finishing, I shouldn't say finishing up, but getting back to the Kiros, Robin, you know, all that stuff happening. And that was interesting, but it's more like, it's kind of a build-up. It wasn't nothing.
It's basically a glorified setup.
But anyway, let's get to the Tontada tribe. Tribe, I can't say
the Ewoks.
The Ewoks of our series.
The gummy bears.
the bumblebee people, as I call them. They can't actually fly. And anyway, so they're there, and they're there to save their princess. And we're not really sure if it's the first time we see her. I could have swore we've seen her in shadow, or at least somewhat like that.
This might be our first full view of the character of Princess Mansherry, but what is interesting about this chapter is not only do we get our first full view of her, we get to learn a little bit more about her powers and why she's so damned important to the Don Quixote family, and that's because she has a hidden ability, which is her devil fruit, which is the heal fruit. She's Dende. She's the Dende of the series, which means she's going to be the glorified Deus Ex Machina in terms of healing people in the show. So if ever a really big character, like a member of the Straw Hat crew, gets hit with a devastating disease, or they're attacked by someone really powerful and they're about to die, they know exactly who to go to now.
And her powers actually work in a strange way. She uses the power of friendship, and she cries on you. I've never heard of that before.
No, never. This is like something out of Pokemon, the first movie, when Ash gets killed by Mewtwo and all the Pokemon start crying and it brings them back to life. Are we supposed to expect that those people have devil fruit powers? This is just ridiculous. You know, I expected that eventually within the One Piece series we'd probably get a devil fruit power or something that would allow people to heal someone. And I was hoping they would do something a little more creative with it, but I'm glad they're getting it out of the way now. And what I think is really good about this chapter mostly is just how heroic Leo is.
Yeah,
he's a character who has really evolved as the series has gone on, and he's clearly the main Tontada to follow in the entire story. He seems like he's the representative of their characters, and he does a lot of cool stuff with his Stitch fruit this week, because one of the big conflicts this week is Giola is taking charge of Mansherry and demonstrating how her powers work. She actually beats the shit out of one of her goons and then grabs Mansherry, strangles her, and has her cry over his body, and that brings him back to life, and she's claiming she's going to use this on all the other executives, because they've all been defeated, and luckily, Kabu comes in, and he does this, big beetle spin attack and rams into them, knocks them away, and then you have Leo who comes in and stitches them all together in a scene, which totally reminds me of that one member of the Seven Ninja Swordsmen of the Mist from Naruto, the guy who looked like he was a member of Twisted Sister.
With the big puffy hair and the mouth.
Exactly. And Leo pretty much does the same thing, however, it's not as violent, and the chapter ends with him saving the princess and commenting on the fact that she's gained a little bit of weight, which I don't really see the point of that, but it's basically just played for laughs.
I think it's kind of he just impaled a whole bunch of people. I think they need some comedy mixed in.
Yeah,
it's
a
like
little
that scene
bit.
in Private Ryan when that guy gets stabbed and then that guy gets shot in the ass. You know, you need a little bit of play for laughs. You know, you need the yin and the yang.
I never realized that I would ever see a comparison between One Piece and Saving Private Ryan. Despite that, I don't hate the Tontada tribe. In fact, I think they're quite charming and I like their designs.
But are they your least favorite part of this arc?
Easily.
Yes.
I didn't hate this chapter. I actually still enjoyed it. I loved especially the attacks both Leo and Kabu were doing. They looked really flashy and the artwork for them was really great. But really, it was just a lot of exposition this week explaining how important the princess is. We already knew. Over-explaining her powers, the heal fruit. Really, that's all you need to know.
Yeah,
just hearing that, like, you immediately know how her powers are going to work. The only real gimmick behind them was the whole, like, crying tears.
Yeah, I liked it. The one thing I'm the most happy about is that they got through it, and it's done. And she's got saved. So it's kind of like, there's a lot going on in this arc, and they got that over with. So it's kind of good that we can move on to something else next. I don't really like the Tontara tribe, but I don't hate them either. I do find them charming, as you said. I just, I think they're almost have served their purpose in this arc.
I mean, you're not going to disagree with everybody this week. You have to admit, Princess Mansherry is absolutely adorable.
She's just like a little ball of cute.
Let your man guard down for a second and just admit the Tontara tribe is marketable, and they could all be made into dolls.
They could. They could be the Cabbage Patch Kids of Japan. And
yet, I'm still not that off-put by them. I should hate these characters, and yet I do kind of dig them.
I think that they're doing what a lot of other characters have done in Straw Hat arcs, which they're becoming inspired by the Straw Hats, mostly Usopp, obviously, and now they're becoming more, powerful, and they believe in themselves, the power of friendship.
Aside from the whole Tontara thing, I do want to mention, I love the fact that even though Nico Robin is getting involved with the battle with Rebecca and Diamante and Kyros, she's still allowing Kyros to have the battle. She's basically there to just protect Rebecca and make sure she doesn't get hurt in the battle. And I think that's awesome, because Kyros is clearly at his breaking point, and he is pissed off, and he is ready to fight, and I cannot wait to see what he's really capable of, because again, doesn't need devil fruit powers, doesn't need hockey, dude's missing a leg, and he will still kick your ass.
I think that's going to be one of the most interesting fights before we go to the main fights. So I am looking forward to that a lot. Okay, rating-wise, what do you think you want to drop on this, 1 to 5?
Originally, I was really mixed on this chapter. I reread it a couple times. I just got done rereading it with you, and upon rereading it again, I actually really liked it. I liked the humor. I loved the artwork. I loved all the action they had at the very end. It was a short, simple chapter. It was just a little dialogue-heavy in terms of the exposition and some of the parts of the chapter. So I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. I thought it was really good.
I completely agree. 3 out of 5 is right where this one falls. The Tontara tribe, probably the lowest point of this arc, but still not bad in comparison with some other side characters we've got.
Exactly. I still enjoyed reading it.
And they're cool. And there's so many of them. You got a personality for all of them. And I think that, good chapter.
Yeah.
And I'm happy this part of this arc is over. So if you guys like this video, please give us a thumbs up. It helps us out. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't. I'm sure the button is right over here if you're watching on a computer. And we also have a PayPal link if you want to donate to the channel. And we also have an Amazon associate link if you want to buy anything through Amazon with that link. It helps give us like a few bucks, helps us out a lot, and you get the stuff you want off Amazon, and everyone wins. Also, we have a Facebook and a Twitter, so check those out. If you're more on Facebook and you want to know when our videos come out, check all that out. We also have a Twitter. Until next time, Super Kami Guru 9000 out.